Welcome to Gracie's wig journey. You're thinking, why are you holding that glass of wine? Because at the end of my wig review, I'm going to share with you a secret of how you're supposed to hold the wine glass when you're given that toast. I taught protocol for many, many years. I was actually part of the 1986, the very first class of the Protocol School of Washington, D.C. But I digress, because today the feature is Jon Renau. I will share with you my very, very favorite wig. So come with me, let's begin the fun. Jon Renau is one of my most favorite designers. I love Raquel Welch, Trace Allure, Ellen Wiley. It goes on and on and on. I find that they're part of my big family. In fact, next month, I think I'll actually take you into my studio and introduce you to all my students. There's like almost 25 of them, and they're all sitting there perfectly in a perfect lineup. And I will share with you my journey. But today, let's get into this particular wig that I'm actually wearing by Jon Renau. And let me share with you. The style is Miranda Lite, and the color is a caramel syrup. I'll put all the links below so you'll know it. But here he is, Jon Renau. And as you know, many of you that get your wigs, when you open the box, always be very mindful of the tag that's always attached, usually to the back. I know that they allow you to keep the wig for a few weeks, actually. I usually make a determination within 48 hours. And I don't usually cut off this tag until I know I'm actually going to keep the wig. I just do this to really expedite my getting my refund when I do have to do a return. And it really makes things so much easier for them. But there's just one thing you need to be mindful of, and that is be very mindful of fragrances that you might have already placed on yourself, your perfume or a light powder, prior to even putting on your wig, particularly if it's a new wig, because a lot of times it can pick up that fragrance. And on the returns, many companies do have the wigs go through a special machine. And if they pick up a foreign fragrance, then they will send it back to you. You cannot return it for 100% refund. So just be mindful of that. You want to maintain the integrity as best you can of your particular wig. So let's now get into this particular Miranda Lite, why I like it so much. And also a heads up, for baby boomers, I always talk about styling your hair away from your face. We don't always have to have the really short haircuts, which tends to be very popular with women that are senior in my age group. But I still kind of like the longer styles, but I like to pull it away from my face. For you young girls, you can wear it anywhere, so just enjoy it. Enjoy it. But let me share with you, I wear scrunchies, as many of you are aware, as well as these bobs on the side, these hairpins. But this is basically what you would be doing. And let me just kind of show you when I put it down. You can see that this is such a beautiful color. You see with the browns and the blondes that are filtered through it. And then also, this has a lace front, as you see here. And I'll take this off and I'll actually show you. All right? Now, for baby boomers too, you can get those pins and wear it up, be very, very elegant in your style. But let me take it off to show you the way this is so beautifully made. Now, Jon Renau, you can find it in all your major wig companies. This one is just exquisitely made. Here you have the lace front, right here. This large area, which is a monofilament top. And by that means that you can actually part your hair anywhere that you wish up on the crown area. Now look at these tabs, how beautifully they're made. Very, very nice. And this little like plastic really gives you extra tightness. In other words, by tightness meaning that it doesn't rise up. Sometimes the tabs after a while will tend to kind of rise up. But I guess with this plastic, at least this is my experience, it just really, they stay really matted down. And of course you have the nape with this also there, little plastic to actually hold it down in place. And then if you want to tighten it, they do have the Velcro on either side that you can lift up and pull to tighten it. Now this Miranda Lite comes actually in a Miranda by itself that would have an open wefting, but this is all hand tied. As you can see, I'm finding that I actually prefer the hand tied. It's just because the caps tend not to be so stretchy for me. And I have no problem as far as cooling. This is not hot for me, even in Florida weather when I visit my friends. It seems to be just perfectly fine. But it's a personal choice. You may prefer the open wefting. But I really like, I'm beginning to evolve to really pay a little extra for when they actually do this kind of a cap construction. To me, it just seems to feel more snug and tighter for me. All right, so let me put it back on. Always, shake it before. Hold it on either side of the tabs. Pull the tabs all the way down by your nape. Then come up to the sides where you're going to find your temple. Find those tabs, put it there. And then usually I go up to the top. Place the lace front right where I see my own hair growing. And then I'll go back to the temples a second time. And then back to the nape just to pull it down nice and snug. And in some cases, after many wears, sometimes I might have to put a bobby pin or two, or you could actually buy the little clips and you can actually sew in clips right directly on your wig and then clip it in too. And that works beautifully too. And then I just comb it. And then I'll be styling it and away I go. All right. Now I want to get back to the elegant part for those of you that are in the corporate arena or you really want to be very successful in your business and stuff. It's very important to understand the protocols and etiquettes of something as simple as table dining. Believe me, we have lost many contracts when we are overseas with many of our foreign challenges and competitors. And if we don't understand international business protocol, the chances of us succeeding in the global marketplace, really, it can hurt you. It can devastate you. I really experienced this back in the 1990s in Southern California when the Asia Pacific Rim was opening up. So many mindset of American companies and CEOs didn't think they needed to understand the protocols of dealing with the Japanese, the Koreans, the Chinese, the Germans, the French, that they learned very quickly when they were losing contracts and losing to competition, to those people that did. But let's get back to one simple, elegant situation, and that is the wine. So here is the wine glass. And as you can see, it's a dark red wine. Now, the proper way of holding the glass itself is that red wine, you don't hold on the stem. You can hold it right here on the base of the glass. Now, if this was white wine, then you would hold it on the stem. And even when you go to even into a tasting or you're being at some vineyard and tasting wine, you see that everyone seems to want to hold it on the stem. Not for the red wine. The red wine, you want to actually hold it on the base. Now, the reason being is it all stems back to the white wine tends to be cool. And so the warmth of your hand holding it at the base, somehow you can change the wine itself from being more room temperature and not a little bit of a hint of being cool. White wine is usually served cool. whereas the red wine is always served at room temperature. So basically, this is the way you would hold it, right? And then when you're going to be giving a toast to someone, the person that's receiving the toast doesn't acknowledge anything. I can see I'm up, I'm going to have to go. So enjoy your etiquette. Stay tuned for my next show.